Republican Convention Tuesday live updates, best speeches, video highlights of Ben Carson, Chris Christie and more. Update, 8:11 p.m. BDT. Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus explained that since there was only one candidate left running, the bound votes from Alaska gets shifted to Donald Trump. That's how the rules are interpreted. House Speaker Paul Ryan then announced the official tallying of the votes, saying in part that Donald J. Trump, having received the majority of these votes entitled to be cast at the Republican National Convention, has been selected as the Republican nominee for President of the United States, he said to a rousing round of applause. A roll call took nearly 2 hours, which has delayed the evening session's speakers from coming to the stage. Update, 7:55 p.m. Donald Trump unofficially accepted the Republican nomination for president via what else? Twitter. "Knowing to work hard and never let you down!" The tweet came just moments after the Alaska delegation asked Speaker of the House Paul Ryan to amend a roll call's votes over an apparent error in tallying the votes. Alaska claims the RNC awarded all of its delegates to Trump, whereas it says just 12 of its 19 votes should have gone to Trump. The move appears to be a formality, as with or without Alaska's votes Trump still has enough delegates to clinch the nomination. Update, 7:34 p.m. Hillary Clinton tweeted shortly after Donald Trump clinched the Republican nomination for president, but it was the apparent comedic contents of her tweet that may have caught some off guard. She tweeted a GIF or a brief looped video clip of her on Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Show featuring the calm-looking Clinton shaking her head no after being asked if Trump intimidates her. A wry smile creeps across her face while she shoots down the assertion that Trump scares her. The tweet included just 3 words, "Let's do this," that seemed to welcome the challenge she will undoubtedly face in a Trump candidacy. Update, 7:15 p.m. The New York Republican delegation's votes officially gave Donald Trump the more than 1,237 delegates he needed to officially secure the Republican nomination for the President of the United States. The New York delegates awarded Trump 89 votes. The medley of Frank Sinatra's New York could be heard playing in the background as convention-goers celebrated. Update, 6:49 p.m. with the apparent scorn for Donald Trump by the Washington, D.C. delegates on full display, the entire delegation cast all 19 of its votes for candidates other than the New York real estate mogul, according to social media reports. The D.C. delegation was promptly booed by the thousands in attendance. The Republican Party, unfazed, consequently awarded all 19 of the votes to Trump, stunning some in attendance. Alaska and its delegates apparently had the same thing happen to their votes. Update, 5:50 p.m. Delegates at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland officially were waiting for a roll call vote to officially nominate Donald Trump for the GOP's candidate for President of the United States. The vote is routine for political conventions, but with Monday's failing effort to force a roll call vote to unbind delegates from having to vote for a particular candidate followed on Tuesday by Texas Senator Ted Cruz's apparent unwillingness to release his delegates, nothing is guaranteed as Cruz's delegates are bound to voting for him. Trump needs 1,237 delegates to vote for him, and he is likely to reach that number easily, as he has 1,543 assured delegates, USA Today reported. Delegates from Washington, D.C., as well as those from Utah were among those not expected to vote for Trump. Update: 4:48 p.m. EDT protests raged Tuesday in Cleveland, with a fight breaking out between opposing demonstrators, according to social media reports. The groups included Black Lives Matter-aligned activists, the Ku Klux Klan and people representing Westboro Baptist Church, which is known for spreading ideologies of hate against groups that include the LGBT community, Jews and Muslims. The groups were reportedly throwing urine and feces at each other. Update: 4:20 p.m. EDT. A radio show host known for his conspiracy theories surrounding the September 11 terror attacks on the U.S. was at the center of more controversy Tuesday afternoon in Cleveland after he and the protester got into a physical altercation during a demonstration, according to social media reports. Alex Jones was ultimately removed from the scene by law enforcement. Alex Jones was wielding a bullhorn and leading the group of like-minded protesters who were all chanting, "Off our streets, Nazis come." It was immediately unclear who the group was targeting with the chants, but a fight ensued before Jones was taken away. Update: 3:28 p.m. EDT. Wright State University in Ohio will no longer host the first presidential debate of the general election because of cost and security concerns. Instead, the Commission on Presidential Debates will hold a showdown between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump September 26 at Hofstra University in New York. Today I requested that the Commission on Presidential Debates release Wright State University from our obligation to host the first presidential debate on September 26, Wright State University President David Hopkins said in a news conference Tuesday. "This has been a very difficult decision to make, but I am confident that it is the right one for Wright State University at this point in time." Wright State has the responsibility for the safety and well-being of those on its campus and in the surrounding area. We all take this responsibility very seriously. Over the last few weeks we have had a growing concern over what it would take to guarantee the safety and security of our campus. The debate would have cost the school up to $8 million. Wright State University had already spent $5 million to host the event, Politico reported. "We cannot afford, as a university that's trying to manage our budget as fiscally sound, to take on these costs," Hopkins said. Washington University in St. Louis and University of Nevada, Las Vegas will also host presidential and vice presidential debates this year. In light of Wright State University's announcement of earlier today, the September 26, 2016 presidential debate will be held at Hofstra University in Hampstead, New York. The Commission very much appreciates Wright State's efforts. Hofstra University served very successfully as a presidential debate site in 2012. On September 23, 2015, the Commission announced that Hofstra University had agreed to serve as an alternate site this debate cycle if needed. The Commission looks forward to working with Hofstra once again, the Commission said in a statement. Update, 3:03 p.m. Melania Trump is angry that someone let her give a speech at the Republican National Convention Monday night with the same phrases Michelle Obama once uttered in a national speech. After Donald Trump's wife was accused of plagiarism, the campaign staffer will likely pay, NBC News reported Tuesday. Melania has been humiliated. No doubt heads are going to roll, an unnamed source told NBC News. Campaign spokesman Jason Miller said Tuesday a team of writers helped Melania Trump pen the remarks. He said the remarks in some instances included fragments that reflected her own thinking. Update, 2:40 p.m. Republicans are making themselves sick. Health officials were investigating Tuesday a reported norovirus outbreak at the Republican National Convention in Ohio after several attendees reported symptoms such as vomiting and diarrhea, according to media reports. Erie County Health Commissioner Peter Shattuck said his office was looking into 11 potentially infected attendees. Norovirus can spread quickly in closed places, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Doug Sovern, the reporter for a CBS affiliate in San Francisco attending the convention, said some delegates have stopped shaking hands when they meet up during the convention to avoid spreading the infection. The event is open to about 2,470 delegates and 2,302 alternates from all 50 states, the District of Columbia and 5 territories. More than 15,000 journalists were also expected to show up. Update, 2:19 p.m. Singer John Legend visits Taylor Swift and Republican leaders Tuesday after his name was brought up to defend Melania Trump's Republican National Convention speech. Republican strategist Sean Spicer responded to allegations that Melania Trump had plagiarized Michelle Obama by claiming that Donald Trump's wife had expressed common phrases also used by Kid Rock, John Legend, Public Enemy, A.K. on House of Pain. Wound. That's a lot of celebrities in one sentence. I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative, John Legend tweeted in response. His reply came a day after Taylor Swift used that same phrase to describe her ongoing feud with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian West. Update, 2:05 p.m. President Barack Obama didn't watch the opening night of the Republican National Convention Monday. The White House spokesman said during a press briefing Tuesday that the president probably had sports on television and not politics. Update, 1:22 p.m. People trying to get near the Republican National Convention might want to look into carpooling. Parking in the area is going for as much as $80 a day, Cleveland.com reported Tuesday. They created a cool map of the best parking prices here. Update, 1:04 p.m. West Virginia delegates will officially nominate Donald Trump as the Republican nominee at the GOP National Convention Tuesday night. The 34 delegates will get a chance to vote for Trump after the New York business mogul got 77% of the vote in the West Virginia primary in May. Delegate Matt Warner, a candidate for West Virginia's Secretary of State, told local media West Virginians were won over by Trump's resume in the private sector. Mr. Trump is an extremely successful businessman and he understands the plight of the men and women in our state who have lost jobs in the coal and oil industry, he said. He understands what we need and we believe he will put our people back to work. West Virginia GOP Chairman Mike Stewart said he is excited about the November general election. "We will have a great partner in Washington if he wins the presidency," Stewart said. They speak often of the importance of West Virginia to the nation, and the importance of its people, and they seem genuine and sincere. "It's what I love about this campaign." Update, 12:41 p.m. One Republican National Convention attendee wasn't too concerned about the Melania Trump speech controversy. "You know, what can a wife say about her husband? You can't say, tilde, oh my God, he's the neatest guy in the world. He's great in bed." Kate Young, 78, the guest of the California delegation, told the Los Angeles Times. Update, 11:51 a.m. The classic rock band Queen does not consider Donald Trump the champion. After the New York business mogul walked into the Republican National Convention Monday night with Queen's 1977 hit "We Are the Champions" blaring from the speakers, the band said they were not pleased. Adam Lambert, the lead singer for Queen and LGBT rights activist, also said he wasn't happy about the song being used by Republicans. Update, 11:37 a.m. Just in time for the Republican and Democratic National Conventions this month, Urban Outfitters Incorporated is making headlines with a line of anti-Donald Trump merchandise. The Philadelphia-based company is selling t-shirts and mugs with the slogan "IDK not Trump though" and a Trump 20 never pin, among other political items, Bloomberg reported. Hillary Clinton, the presumptive Democratic nominee, appears more popular with the retailer's customers. Urban Outfitters is also selling a shirt that reads "Hillary Run in Thanks Tour 2016. Update, 11:15 a.m. Corey Lewandowski, Donald Trump's former campaign manager, said the person who wrote Melania Trump's speech for the Republican National Convention should be fired. Lewandowski, who was pushed out of the Trump campaign, said the plagiarism accusations surrounding the speech were grounds for dismissal. "I know what it's like to be fired by the Trump campaign," he said Tuesday on CNN. Update, 10:55 a.m. Hillary Clinton's campaign spokeswoman said Tuesday the former Secretary of State isn't to blame for Melania Trump's widely criticized speech Monday night at the Republican National Convention that echoed the previous speech from Michelle Obama on hard work and values. Donald Trump's campaign manager Paul Manafort accused the Clinton campaign of leaking the story to the press, but Jennifer Palmieri, Hillary for America communications director, denied the allegations. Update, 10:31 a.m. Melania Trump wore a $2,000 wedding dress when she addressed the Republican National Convention Monday night in Ohio. She wore a cotton silk off-white Oksana marked dress with belt sleeves with Christian Louboutin heels. The dress quickly sold out. She doesn't have a stylist. She has excellent taste. She simply liked the dress and purchased it, a spokesperson for Melania told E! News. Update, 10:09 a.m. Ben Carson doesn't care if Melania Trump cribbed her speech from Michelle Obama. Carson, the former presidential candidate who will address the Republican National Convention Tuesday night, said both speeches were good, Politico reported. If Melania's speech is similar to Michelle Obama's speech, that should make us all very happy because we should be saying, rather than we're Democrats or Republicans, we share the same values. If we happen to share values, we should celebrate that, not try to make it into a controversy, he said. Update, 9:54 a.m. Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus isn't happy about the controversial surrounding Melania Trump's speech Monday night. He said Tuesday he'd probably fire the person who wrote it after it was compared to Michelle Obama's speech at the 2008 Democratic National Convention. He stopped short of saying the speech was plagiarized but said either way he doesn't blame Melania Trump, The Hill reported. For whatever it's worth, Donald Trump was once a big fan of Obama's oratory skills. Update, 9:20 a.m. Jonathan Favreau, the former director of speech writing for President Barack Obama, called Donald Trump's campaign manager Tuesday a lying scumbag for defending Melania Trump's speech at the Republican National Convention amid claims she plagiarized her remarks from Michelle Obama. Paul Manafort said Tuesday that the speech was not stolen from the First Lady. There's no cribbing of Michelle Obama's speech. These were common words and values. She cares about her family, Manafort said. To think that she'd be cribbing Michelle Obama's words is crazy. Update, 9:06 a.m. Hillary Clinton is using the Republican National Convention in Ohio to raise money for her campaign against Donald Trump. Her campaign sent out an email requesting donations Monday night. It also wrote a letter to Trump Tuesday that read, "Before you become the 28th person to be the Republican nominee for president, there's something we want you to know: you do not represent us. Your ideas don't represent us. Your values don't represent us. And we are going to do absolutely everything we can to make sure you never, ever become president." Read the full letter here. Update, 8:46 a.m. Donald Trump, Jr. will address the Republican National Convention Tuesday night, along with his sister, Tiffany Trump. Before the televised speeches, the younger Donald Trump took time to make fun of his family's hair Tuesday morning on Twitter with a little self-deprecating humor and a typo. Update, 8:34 a.m. Activists climbed the flagpoles at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland Tuesday morning to hang an anti-Donald Trump banner as the Republican National Convention began its second day of events in Ohio, according to local media reports. The 625-square-foot banner read, "Don't Trump our communities." Protests against the presumptive GOP nominee have been scheduled throughout the week. A Stand Together Against Trump rally was expected to start Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Cleveland police said there were about 500 protesters Monday who held peaceful events. They support immigration reform, the Black Lives Matter social justice movement and other progressive causes. Through the power of direct action, our movements can and will stop the hateful rhetoric of Donald Trump, and continue to push Hillary Clinton to ban fracking and stop the deportations, one protester, Shane Davis, said. Update, 8:05 a.m. Donald Trump's campaign denied allegations Tuesday that Melania Trump plagiarized the Michelle Obama speech during her anticipated remarks on the first night of the Republican National Convention. To think that she would do something like that knowing how scrutinized her speech was going to be last night is just really absurd, campaign chairman Paul Manafort told CNN's Chris Cuomo on New Day. Reporters were quick to point out Monday night that Melania Trump's speech seemed very similar to a speech Obama gave at the Democratic National Convention in 2008, when her husband, Barack Obama, was campaigning to become the first black president. But Manafort said the similar messages and words were simply a coincidence. There's no cribbing of Michelle Obama's speech. These were common words and values. She cares about her family, Manafort said. To think that she'd be cribbing Michelle Obama's words is crazy. You can decide for yourself who is telling the truth. Melania Trump, who rarely gives public speeches, said Monday night, "From a young age, my parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond and you do what you say and keep your promise, that you treat people with respect." They taught and showed me values and morals in their daily lives. That is a lesson that I continue to pass along to our son. And we need to pass those lessons on to the many generations to follow. Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them, Michelle Obama said on August 25, 2008, and Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values, that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond and you do what you say you're going to do, that you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them. And Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values, and to pass them on to the next generation. Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work for them. Original story: The Republican National Convention promised to adopt a more mature tone Tuesday with speeches from House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The second day of the GOP nominating event follows the head-scratching opening day that saw TV stars such as Scott Baio and Willie Robertson praise Donald Trump's leadership skills while blasting Democrat Hillary Clinton. The convention at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland drew about 2,470 delegates and 2,302 alternates from all 50 states, the District of Columbia and 5 territories. More than 15,000 journalists were also scheduled to attend. It's the fourth time the GOP has held its convention in Ohio, the crucial swing state that often decides presidential elections. The speakers Tuesday, according to the Republican National Convention,
R. Sharon Day, co-chairman of the Republican National Committee and a Republican leader for more than 20 years. Dana White, president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, who has held mixed martial arts competitions at the Trump Tabernacle Casino property. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, who is serving his first term. Nadalie Gulbis, a professional golfer playing on the USDASED LPGA Tour, who also starred in the 2005 and 2006 reality show, The Natalie Gulbis Show. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the state's longest-serving senator. U.S. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan of Wisconsin, the permanent chairman of the 2016 Republican National Convention and an occasional Trump critic. NW Jersey Gov. Chris Christie, a candidate for president in the 2016 Republican primary who quickly endorsed Trump after exiting the race. Tiffany Trump, the second youngest of Donald Trump's children and a recent graduate of the University of Pennsylvania with a double major in sociology and urban studies. Donald Trump, Jr., Executive Vice President at the Trump Organization and Donald Trump's son. Dr. Ben Carson, the former candidate for president and an occasional critic of Donald Trump. Kimberlin Brown, an actress best known for her roles in the television dramas The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful.